And this has been a long 3 years, a very emotional journey. These mothers telling me this encounter with Raleigh PD impacting their children the most. Now, I sat down with one of those mothers, Yolanda Irving, and she told me tonight she finally feels like justice has been served. Yolanda Irving can't forget the trauma her family faced in May 2020 when Raleigh PD's Selective Enforcement Unit showed up at her former home on Burgundy Street and delivered a no-knock warrant.
You going in people's homes without knocking, things could have went wrong so fast.
Now, 3 years later, the city of Raleigh is paying for what happened in a $350,000 settlement to Yolanda Irving and her former neighbor, Kenya Walton.
It's 3 years too late. We was in our home, minding our business, and y'all interrupted our peace.
When the heavily armed tactical team came through the doors of her home with guns out, aimed at her and her children. Yolanda said the officers were looking for drugs and money, but there were big problems. The officers were at the wrong home. The search warrant that officers showed Yolanda included a picture of a home with red doors. The doors to Yolanda and her neighbor's home were beige. On top of that, the police officer in charge of the operation was now fired detective Omar Abdullah, who was indicted on obstruction of justice charges amid allegations he framed dozens of young black men in a fake heroin scheme.
I could have lost 2 kids behind that, but literally I could have lost my 12-year-old behind that because they chasing my son down.
What would have been right in this situation was to offer a settlement that was reasonable and just to this family months ago.
Advocating on behalf of Yolanda and Kenya was a small legal team, including attorneys with Emancipate NC.
RPD has updated its policies to end no-knock warrants, so they will not be doing no-knock warrants anymore. We also know that they have made substantial changes to their confidential informant policies to hopefully avoid this kind of foolishness in the future.
The change is there because the next family don't have to go through that.
Yolanda saying doing this all for the change they hope to see. Now, we reached out to RPD and the city. They could not comment on this case. The next step in this settlement, which is contingent on the final approval by Raleigh City Council, the city's insurance carrier, and federal court. In Raleigh, Janice Price, ABC 11 Eyewitness News.
Yeah, hopefully bring some comfort to these families. Janice Price, thank you.